the main question we want to ask in today's episode is this shoe for everyone?
Personally, this is an aggressive shoe, and it really does help you in terms of your speed and performance because of like the weight and the aggressiveness. So maybe I would wear this like for a road 5K, 10K, yeah. But maybe I would choose like the DNE 3 for like a half marathon.
Is lighter always better? Today we find out on Soulmates as we dive into Puma's latest race day innovation, the Fasa Nitro Elite 3. Joining us in studio today are two very special guests who are no strangers to Sport Plus or Soulmates. Please welcome Ms. Cheryl Tay, Club Manager for Puma Nitro Run Club Singapore, and of course the one and only Vanessa Lee, Puma athlete and multinational record holder. Please tell us, what has been your highlight so far for this year? On the race day front, maybe. We can start off with Cheryl.
I finally got a sub-4 for my full marathon timing. Yay! Woo! After hobbling through Sydney Marathon and Berlin Marathon last year, I really wanted to break this. You know, there's just something about going under the 4-hour barrier, right? So I really can I say ass? I really busted my ass off for 3 months and then, yeah, did it.
Vanessa, of course, it's hard to pick out your highlight of the year because you've already broken 2 national records, and the 5,000 meters and of course more recently the 3,000 meter steeplechase as well.
Definitely highlight the 5K back in March because that race also qualifies me for the SEA Games this year.
We're going to start off by having a quick discussion or chat about your first impressions of the shoe.
Okay, I think, clearly it's a very light shoe. I think for me, because I'm more of a long distance runner, like I do mostly half or full marathons, so I would say a shoe like that, it gives a very aggressive, it makes me run very aggressively. The shoe is very aggressive. So I think for me, first impressions were this shoe is fast. Like I was like, whoa, okay, it's fast. But at the same time, I wouldn't consider this for like the full marathon, for example, because I think I value comfort, especially over like long. I mean, I'm not a 2.5 hour runner, so I need a shoe that can keep me comfortable for like slightly under 4 hours. So first out of the box, very light, very fast.
So the first time I wore this shoe was actually on a wet track. Yeah, and I was doing intervals with it. So first impressions, obviously very light, so much lighter than the Fasa 2, right? And I think that's really great. It will help a lot, especially in the weight. I was a little bit concerned because I realized there's not much of a heel support right here.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of concern about stability. But honestly, when I just stand in it, it was still quite stable. Yeah, it's not like very rocky to the extent where I feel uncomfortable standing in it. So honestly, surprisingly more stable than I thought. I think one of the concerns that I had, right, was that actually you're supposed to, if you're in between sizes, you should actually size down for this. I would recommend this. Yeah. And I actually took the size up. Yeah, so honestly, when I wore it, there was a bit of a space. I was a bit concerned of moving within the shoe itself. But actually, right, the lace grip is super secure. I didn't even realize it. Yeah, my feet didn't move at all during the intervals.
Yep.
So that's really great. Honestly, the first strike was amazing, super reactive. And then I was like, after the first 100-meter strike, I was just like, okay, this is a good shoe.
First off, we're going to dive into the specs for the Fasa Nitro Elite 3. Now, as both of you have already mentioned, of course, a very, very light shoe. I believe it comes in at about 170 grams for the US size 9. Your sizes are probably significantly smaller than that. But I do think it shaved off quite a bit from the previous edition of the Fasa 2. I think it's at least 70 grams, is it? Or there or thereabouts, 79 to 90 grams. Yeah, it's quite a bit. If you were to carry both shoes, one in your left hand and one in your right, you can actually feel the weight difference. But beyond the weight, one thing to take note of course, is the upper of the shoe. It's really cool. Don't you think it can see through the shoe almost?
You can.
There's the ultra weave upper. And as Vanessa mentioned, I think one of the key considerations when talking about race shoes is the stability, right? And the stability, of course, when you're talking about the entire shoe structure beyond the midsole, it's also how the upper gives you that structure and that support. And from what I hear from you, you think that the lockdown is pretty good. It's
amazing.
great. It's amazing.
You wear different coloured socks, you can get different coloured shoe each time.
That's true. That's true. Good point. Of course, some similarities with the earlier edition. It's also a decoupled midsole, like earlier editions of the Fasa 2, and the full-length carbon plate that kind of juts out at the front as well to gives it its signature look.
Yeah, so I mean with the carbon plate and like the design, right, with the heel-to-toe job, it definitely makes this an aggressive shoe and a very reactive shoe. Honestly, when I first tried in it, right, it was just so bouncy. And I was like, yes, okay, this is a good shoe. Let's go and try it, you know. And it really helped me through the intervals. It made it very easy, to finish. Like I was doing fast intervals on a wet track, and honestly, that interval section just felt great.
Quick specs also on the overall stack height of the shoe: 40 millimeters in the heel, 32 in the forefoot to give you an overall offset of 8 millimeters. Grip as well. I think, Vanessa, you shared earlier on the Puma grip, even on a wet surface when you did intervals, didn't give you any problems at all.
Yeah, so when I ran on a wet track, it didn't give me any problems. It was actually a quite good grip. I haven't run it on the road so far, so I cannot say it for the road. I think one thing that my friends did feedback was that their Puma logo is actually gone from the road. But as you see, like this is my shoe. Yeah, so like if it's on the track, right, I've ran it like for a few interval sessions already. Like it doesn't come off on the track, but somehow it does for the road. Yeah. But for the grip wise, definitely not an issue.
You've worn other Puma shoes, race shoes as well, and how do you think they compare? And when will we get to see you wear this in an actual race? I think that's a question that everyone is asking.
The longer they go, they might feel a bit more like maybe the DN3 is more versatile. Yeah, like personally, this is an aggressive shoe, and it really does help you in terms of your speed and performance because of like the weight and the aggressiveness. So maybe I will wear this like for a road 5K, 10K, but maybe I would choose like the DNE3 for like a half marathon.
How can everyday runners who are not high performance or elite athletes like Vanessa benefit from this shoe? How do you think they can make the most of this shoe?
Honestly, I think it really depends on preference. I know of people who wore the FR2 for a full marathon and they love it. So it again depends on like your running gait, whether you can, what's the word? Whether you can, whether you can, how do you say tahan in English? Whether you can tahan the shoe for such long distances.
Whether you can endure in this shoe.
Whether you can endure. But personally, for myself, I would say that I would try this for a half first and then see how it goes. But for now, I really, really like the DNE for the full distance, the full marathon distance.
Which you wore for Nagoya?
Yes, exactly.
I believe.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, as a more traditional setup, it doesn't give me any blisters, no black toenails. So I think, and it gets bouncier and softer the more you run in it. A lot of super shoes, I think, typically they have this toe off, this very aggressive toe off, and that actually causes a lot of strain on my calves for me, which then leads to plantar fasciitis or even Achilles pain. So I need to be very careful when I use a shoe like that. So I would try for shorter distances first.
It is getting very competitive across the different running brands, I would say, for race day shoes. And of course, we have seen different designs or structures that have been coming out in recent times. But particularly, as you mentioned, for those with a very aggressive rocker design, probably not the best idea for everyone to just get a pair
this
without
is not
trying
even the
them
most
on, right?
aggressive in terms of...
I mean, the more aggressive toe off.
More...
I must say, for this shoe, it does kind of like encourage you to, roll off the front of your foot, even without really trying. So if you're not someone who actually has the right energy systems or engine to support that kind of running style, you may want to have that into consideration. All that being said, I still think it's a fantastic shoe. It's really light, very fast, and if you can afford different pairs of shoes and you're looking at investing in a pair that can probably take you for those shorter races or even up to the half marathon, as Cheryl mentioned, do have a look at the Fasa Nitro Elite 3. All right, now, as with all episodes of Soulmates, we usually have our guest athlete help us score the shoes out of 5 across 5 categories. So, Vanessa, in the category of comfort, how would you score the Fasa Nitro Elite 3?
Honestly, it's not as unstable as I thought, so I would rate comfort at around 4.
Stability of the shoe?
I would say a 4 as well.
And responsiveness?
Oh, definitely a 5.
Boing. Grippiness of the shoe.
Grippiness of the shoe, I will rate it like a 5 as well.
Last but not least, value for money.
Do you want to tell them how much it is first?
Going about 359 Singapore dollars. It's available at on Puma.com, in Puma stores, and of course in select iRun stores as well.
Honestly, a bit pricey. So I'll rate it at about a 3.5.
Right, which gives us an overall score of 4.3 soles out of 5. It's a very, very high score for a very, very good shoe. If you have any questions for our guests today, don't forget to leave them in comments below. Cheryl's saying don't ask her, but don't forget. Oh, yes, please do ask Vanessa.
Just ask me. It's
Yeah, feel free to ask Vanessa. And of course, if you guys are looking to train for your 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathon, full marathon, or even high rocks, don't forget you can join Puma Nitro Run Club on every Tuesday and on one Saturday a month. It's been a pleasure having you guys watch this episode of Soulmates. And of course, till next time, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.